MarketStrategy.com.
Hi, this is Chris again, looking at the upcoming Friday, August 22nd trading session. In front of you, I have the economic calendar. Really not a lot to look at today from an economic announcement point of view, but that's not to say there aren't things that can get into the marketplace and move things. We have the Canadian CPI numbers year over year. I'm not going to pay attention to the month over month when the longer term numbers come out. We have core, and then of course just the typical CPI numbers. Anticipated to be 1.9 and 2.2 respectively. This will be very interesting for the dollar Canadian dollar forex pair. Probably won't move much beyond that though. 1.10 has been rather resistive, and if we get bad numbers out of Canada, that might be the catalyst to finally break out above that level and get into a buy and hold situation, which is what I do believe happens sooner or later. This just might be the catalyst, so that'll be worth paying attention to. The Canadian numbers continue to dominate until we get to the Jackson Hole Symposium meetings. Yellen and Draghi both speak. This is a hard thing to handicap because, quite frankly, you never know what they're going to say. Now, that being said, we could get an easy monetary policy type of vibe off of Janet Yellen's announcement, and that could send the S&P 500 over the 2000 level. A daily close above there is very bullish, but right now that market is overbought, so I'm a little bit hesitant to put any money to work. Quite frankly, I'd like to see a pullback before I got involved. Draghi speaking probably won't move much, just simply because the European markets will be either closed, or European traders will either be closed or asleep, really, depending on whether or not he says anything of significance is probably something that's going to be assessed on Monday for the most part. The euro dollar might react to it if he says something about a weaker euro. Quite frankly, though, I don't see him doing anything to bolster the value of the euro, and the euro is so bearish I wouldn't consider buying it anyways, so it's probably going to be somewhat of a non-event. At least it's not going to change anybody's mind. Looking at the charts, the FTSE, you can see, was positive during the day on Thursday. I think we're just going to grind sideways for a minute, probably try to catch our breath, and then perhaps try to break out to the upside. I don't expect to see much on Friday. I need to see 6,800 taken to the upside in order to start buying. A pullback only has me looking for support. As I mentioned, the euro dollar has been very bearish. We did get a little bit of a pop on the day Thursday. 133 was support previously, or somewhere near it, I should say, somewhere between there and about 133 and a quarter. So that being the case, perhaps maybe we get a little bit of a pop and then Draghi says something about a weaker euro. That might send it down there as well. So I want to see a resistive candle because I do think ultimately this pair goes to the 1.3 level. The S&P 500 is overbought by any metric that you measure, but you can see we've done this before, so it's not like it can't happen. We get above 2,000 again, I believe that is going to be the reason to buy. Otherwise, any pullback, I'm waiting for a supportive candle all the way down to about 1960 or so. So really, the more we pull back, the more interested I am, because we have made a higher high, so that of course shows that momentum is picking up to the upside. The dollar Canadian dollar, as you can see, pulled back a little bit during the session on Thursday, with 110 being a massive barrier. One of two things can happen. We can go higher, perhaps break above that and have us buy, but we can go to 109 and support down there. We could have us buy this market as well. No interest in selling it whatsoever. The US dollar is just simply far too strong at this point in time, and the Canadian dollar, of course, is on its back foot. So that means we could in fact see that breakout finally, and I'm hoping to see that, but I'm not going to push it. A move back to 109 or so, even 108.5, could be another attempt to build up momentum to break out. But again, I really don't see a situation where I want to buy this Canadian dollar, meaning sell this particular pair. The oil markets certainly look very weak, and the Canadian numbers haven't been that great. So really no reason to get involved to the downside in this market. And with that, I've looked at the Friday, August 22nd trading session.